Recording. Hello, in this video we're looking at Mangala Sutta, verse 4. Pratirupade savasocha pubbecha katapunyata attasamma pranidhicha etam mangalam uttamam. I'll give you the text now. Pratirupade savasocha pubbecha katapunyata Tasma pranidhija etam mangalam uttamam. So vasa, from the root vas, meaning to dwell. Vas. And it's one of those roots that makes, let me get my iPad up. Here we are. Root vas. And like many, probably it's right to say the majority of roots that have a short a followed by a single consonant, it makes its verbal noun in just by lengthening the a and adding an a. So vasa. So vasa means a dwelling, or the fact of, or the act of living or dwelling somewhere. And in this verse, Patirupadesava Socha, it has the meaning of dwelling not as a physical place, but the act of living, being in, living in where? Patirupadesa. Used as a compound, it could be Patirupades, it could analyze out the compound, Patirupe dese vaso, living in a Patirupa desa. Desa, desha in Sanskrit, it's from the root dish, and it makes its verbal noun desha. Dish originally meant to point, and then by extension it meant the point of a compass, or the noun dish and the alternative noun desha. And desha, from originally meaning a point, or a point of the compass, came to mean a region or an area. So desha, desa in Pali. And we have also pradesha, which here means a kind of a sub-country, or a subdivision of a country, therefore a province or a region. And these words survive in that form. To this day, we have Bangladesh, as you know, in the languages, specifically the northern Indian languages, derived directly from Sanskrit and Pali, or from Sanskrit and Prakrit, I should say. A final a is not pronounced. So whereas in Sanskrit we say desha, in Pali, because Pali doesn't have a sh, it becomes a so we have desa. But in modern Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, the other languages of modern India, the final a is dropped off and not pronounced, so you'd say desh. So this Bangladesh, the Bengal land, and it means a country. In modern times, it means a country. But in older times, it would mean any region or area or place abroad, not a little place. That was more sthana in Sanskrit, sthana in Pali. Desha, a region, an area. And Pradesh, I'd say Pradesha means a province, and in the modern languages of northern India, it's pronounced Pradesh, not Pradesha, Pradesh. We have the Uttar Pradesh, um, the the northern province. By the Uttara, we dealt with it in these verses. Uttara, outer or further. It also means northern. Um, so Uttara Pradesha in modern Hindi, Uttar Pradesh is the northern province. So Deshavaso, Pali Desavaso, living in a certain area. What kind of area? Patirupa. Now, Rupa we know means form, of Nama Rupa, name and form, or mentality, materiality. Rupa. And Rupa also has come to mean as in a Buddha Rupa, meaning a statue of the Buddha, literally the Buddha form. So Patirupa, this upasarga, this verbal prefix, prati in Sanskrit, pati or pati in Pali, counterform. So counterform means suitable, agreeable, something whose form is suitable for what you want, is patirupa. So it doesn't mean against. In this particular case, it means going with you. It's what you do want. So patirupade savasocha, living in what you might call a conducive environment, a suitable kind of area. You see that it's all been put into one compound here, patirupadesa vasocha. It could equally have been written, let us separate, so patirupadesa vaso. It's been made into a compound, written as one word. By the way, if I'd written this in Devanagari, obviously there'd be no hyphens. It'd all be written as one string of letters. It could equally correctly have been, you could analyze or break up the compound, separate out the compound, in which case it could have been, Patirupadese. So separate the compound, and then we now decline the desa, the vaso, in a patirupadesa. So in the locative patirupadese. Now here we see that the adjective and the noun have been compounded together. Therefore the adjective appears in its stem form, but it would have been equally correct to have, the eraser here, to decline it fully, separate the compound and combine and decline it fully. So we have the adjective patirupe in the locative, the noun dese in the locative, and vaso as it was. So patirupe, dese, vaso, or put them all together into one compound, suitable place dwelling, patirupe dese vaso, which is what we have in this verse. So I'll bring it to the screen again. Patirupe dese vaso cha, pubbe cha katapunyata. So pubbe is an adverb of time, meaning previously, in the past, in former times. It's often used to mean in a previous life, but not necessarily. It can just mean what happened a few minutes ago was pubbe. It's actually cognate with our English word previous. Purva is purva in Sanskrit. Let me give you the oops. Here we are. It says purva. in Sanskrit, and pubba in Pali. And make it in locative, make it pubbe, previous, past, before. So pubbe, in the before, in what happened before. Pubbecha, now katapunyata. Punya we know, yeah, crudely translated as meritorious acts, meritorious conduct, punya. Kata, Sanskrit is krita. In Pali it becomes kata. It just means done. So if you are kata punya, means you are one who has done. It's an compound adjective meaning one who has done punya, one who is engaged in acts of punya. Now you can make an abstract noun out of it. Katapunyata, the state or condition of being a person who has done punya. So done punya-ness, the state of having done it. So, pubbecha katapunyata, being in a state of one who has previously performed good acts or acts of punya. So, what this verse is pointing out on my interpretation of it, it's pointing out that it is a mangalam, it is a blessing to be in the position where you can look back over your own past. It doesn't specify how long past that past is. It could be a minute ago. It could be a previous life. It's all within pubba. And previously, previously can be a minute ago. It can be in a previous life. So it's the idea here is looking back on what you have done in the past as punya. So being in the position of one who has done punya in the past as an encouragement to, as it were, carry on doing it because you will have been then laying up a mangalam for yourself in the future. Oops, where have I? Here we are. So pubbecha katapunyata, the status of having done good acts or done punya in the past. Atta panidhicha. Atta meaning self in the broad meaning of the word, from which we have, of course, anatta, meaning non-self. Where the word self is used on its own, in the nominative, it's got a long R, atta. When it's used in compound, that long R shortens. That's why we have not atta samma but atta samma paniticha. Samma are well-known samma, frequently translated as right, as in the Noble Eightfold Path, each of the eight things it is described as, it starts with samma, often translated as right. I won't go through it all in this video, but I've dealt with it at length in the note to the video. Going into the meaning of samma, the rightness of ordered harmony, harmoniously. So more than just right as in right and wrong. It's more this feeling of in tune with life, in harmony with the Dhamma and the flow of life. That's more the meaning of samma. And pranidhi is from our root dha, to place. I've done a note on it. In Sanskrit, pranidha. Nidha, dha to place. Nidha to place down, to put in front of you. Or just to place down. Pranidha to place down in front of you. and it often has the meaning of um, turning or directing the mind towards something. You place your mind, you decide where you're going to give your mental energy to, is that you pranidha. And it has the same idea of the way you've disposed the way you've arranged yourself, the way you've aimed your energies and your direction. So the atta, and by the way, when the root is dha, when it comes, when it's a noun with verbal prefixes in front of it, um, it becomes the, as in, for example, to concentrate the mind as a verb is samadha, but as a noun, we all know the word samadhi. So it's samadha, is the gathering in of the mind. Samadha, noun samadhi. And here, by the same process, pranidha, noun pranidhi, the setting forth in front of you, and then the disposition, the way you've directed and organized your mind and your energies and yourself, the way you've disposed yourself, the direction you've set yourself. So atta samma panidhicha, the samma, the way we've just looked at, the right, the correct, the well ordered, the dhammically ordered disposition of yourself. That's what's contained in the Attasama Panidija. Etam Mangalamuttamam. And this phrase, Etam Mangalamuttamam, then is repeated throughout the following verses. I won't explain it each time. Now, this is the Supreme Mangalam. So I'll read it through once more. We'll analyze it briefly and then read it through. So Patirupadesa Vasocha, dwelling, Patirupadesa Vasa, suitable place dwelling, suitable kind of area dwelling. Pubbecha Katapunyata, the state of having done punya in the past, means you can look back at your own past and be glad that you have done well, you've done punya. Attasamma panidhicha, and the rightful, the well ordered disposition of yourself, means the directing of your energies and your life. Etam mangalam uttamam. So patirupa savasocha pubbecha katapunyata attasamma panidhicha etam mangalam uttamam. And that's it on this video.